noticed last year at Fall Fest, they were starting to get rotten. When I was up there today tripping them, they were in worse shape than I thought. So anyway, the one big one coming down, and then the other big one over by the sign is coming down as well. So it's not worth the risk anymore. I'm leaving them up of what could happen. So, yeah.
And the tree came down in McCarthy Park.
Yeah, the tree came down in McCarthy Park. That one, there was splits on the bottom of the trunk of that tree that was starting to run up to where those big arms were. And Pat did that one by himself, for the city crew didn't help him. But it was time for that tree as well. Once I got a phone call about it, but then when I went and seen what tree it was, I know why they were. Is because the trunks, the base, the way the cracks were starting to come up from the base. Man, a big windstorm and smashing the kids is not on my to-do list. So.
And while that tree in McCarthy Park, as I understand it, did provide the most shade, it was also the riskiest. And I'm right there with everyone who says, oh my goodness, we've lost our shade trees. But as Eric said, the risk to human life and limb is not worth taking. It's not worth taking that risk. So,
should we replace those trees?
I know there's a plan to replace those trees. Yeah.
Yep. And as we know, the best time to plant a tree is 50 years ago.
Yes.
And the second best time is today. So that is just, I guess, life cycle there. Anything else, Eric?
No,
Okay.
that's it.
I will add, though, that we have a resignation from one of our public works employees. So we have put out the advertisement for that position, and we will move on. Okay, Carrie, do you have anything tonight?
Just wanted to let you all know that I did get the events ordinance loaded into the Municode. You can check it out on the city's webpage by going into notices and the Municode. So.
Okay, thank you. And Carrie and Jenny are also working on developing the forms that ordinance requires. So we're on a roll there. Do we have any report from fire department tonight?
Yes. Hold on, I've got to open this text. Wrong person. So Sean wanted you guys to know he's working on the ESO stuff since it's transferring over to that NERS. They didn't know the city fire department existed and needed that. So he's getting that worked out. He did go look at the new location for Jenny Steele's building. Says should be able to get pretty good access to it if there is a fire. Just hopefully she doesn't build a full-size building there. Something smaller would be better. So that is all he had.
Okay.
I guess the only thing to add is recruit class started for rural and city for firefighters, and I think there's three
There's three for city.
that will be for the city out of that
Okay,
class.
nice. Great. Thanks. That's good news.
That's good
Yeah.
news.
Okay, let's see. What have I been doing? I have, as you know, council, sorry, stuttering a little bit. I did forward you an email from Visionary LLC relative to a telecommunications work. And I have been working on a communication to Jim Schauber because we have not received any building inspection forms for quite some time. I reach out to him to see what's going on there. As I mentioned, we're working on that form, and we'll continue working on that press release regarding the water system so that our public has an opportunity to take action in advance of the water tower coming online. And I believe that's all tonight that I have to report. Nate, do you have anything?
I do not.
Angie? No, ma'am.
I've got 4 items, if I could. I apologize that we were late getting the list of wants and needs, et cetera, for the rural fire MOU. So we've got the paper in front of us, but it wasn't on the agenda. Would it be appropriate to read this out tonight and then let the council discuss it at the next meeting?
Sure.
All righty. This came about between Vivian and Peter and I after talking through what we believed rural's needs were from their proposed MOU and what our needs were, and we came up with the following. Definitions: the property located at Townsend Original Town Site, S31T07 North R02 East, Block 34, lots 17 through 19. Owned by the City of Townsend, and the building located thereon owned equally and enjoyed tenancy by the City of Townsend, and the Broadwater Rural Fire District shall hereafter be referred to in whole as the Townsend, Montana Fire Hall, or TMFH. The Broadwater Rural Fire District shall hereafter be known as the BRFD. The Fire Department of the City of Townsend, Montana, presently known as the Townsend Volunteer Fire Department, shall hereafter in this agreement be known as the TVFD, regardless of the department's organization in the future. Used in this agreement, TVFD is synonymous with the City of Townsend. Agreements. First, the BRFD and the TVFD agree to have equal claim on the TMFH for its vehicle storage, equipment storage, and personnel space. Personnel space shall be shared equally between the two organizations. Oh, typo. Between the two organizations and where practical in common. Vehicle and equipment space shall be shared equally. BRFD is granted permission to utilize unused TVFD vehicle and equipment storage space, but acknowledges the need to vacate that space as the TVFD acquires additional vehicles and equipment. 2, the BRFD is authorized to utilize Townsend City fire hydrants, whether within the contiguous boundary of the city or not, to fill vehicles for emergency services and training purposes without cost and in a manner authorized by the Townsend Department of Public Works. Water obtained for any other purpose or in any other manner must be purchased at established bulk rates and with the approval of the Department of Public Works. 3, the BRFD is required to maintain water quality protection systems on its vehicles and equipment to protect the city water supply from contamination. And finally, 4, the BRFD and the TVFD agree to make available all personnel, vehicles, and equipment for any city or rural emergency as deemed appropriate by the fire chiefs or senior responding officers. In the case of simultaneous city and rural emergencies, the fire chiefs or senior responding officers shall expeditiously determine an appropriate allocation of resources favoring known danger to life and property above unknown danger until the extent of both emergencies is understood. At all times, both the BRFD and the TVFD agree to conscientiously protect human life through the necessary allocation of personnel, vehicles, and equipment, regardless of the location of any emergency. Oh, my apologies, and 3 more on the back. 5th, the BRFD and TVFD agree that costs and damage incurred by the use of one organization's personnel, vehicles, and equipment when used by the other that is not otherwise paid for through insurance will be paid by that organization. 6, the BRFD and the TVFD agree to share training schedules, maintenance schedules, software and resource access, and any other information deemed useful or necessary to improve the efficiency of the two organizations. And finally, the BRFD and the TVFD agree to act in all ways to separate the financial obligations of the two organizations. All invoices or bills that should be paid by the TVFD shall be addressed to City Hall, 110 Broadway Street, Townsend, in care of the city clerk.
Thank you.
And then if we could get that on the next meeting's agenda.
Yes. Have that, Carrie? Thank you.
And then 3 more quick questions. If I recall correctly, Mayor, we are on top of the opportunity to reevaluate the water fee for the year. Is that more or less correct? I thought once a year the revolving fund allowed us to reevaluate the fee structure
Yes,
Water,
for water rates,
for the water rates.
both water rates.
That's not what I remember.
I don't know that you're able to do that when you're in the middle of a bond for a water tower.
Am I misremembering what you said?
What I said way back when.
Yeah, way back
That-
when, unfortunately.
Oh, good. I mean, it's fair game, what I remember. No, what I said was that it would, the recommendation from the Department of Environmental Quality was that we should wait at least a year. And, but the caveat around that was implementation of the new water system and the final closing on the bonds so that we know exactly what our debt service is.
Which hasn't occurred
Which
yet.
has not yet occurred because
Okay.
we're still drawing on that.
I ask because I've had people approaching me with continuing frustrations. And one of the larger issues that has been brought to my attention is how to work with people who are already receiving state or local assistance with their utility bills and what could be done to assist them to get through, especially the winter season. And so I wonder what might be a good way to introduce possible opportunities for structuring that kind of assistance to the council. Is that just like writing up a list of ideas and handing it to you, or what do we want to do? I mean, knowing perfectly well, and I'm having discussions with folks, that the bill has to be paid. And that's the one aspect that people, they eventually get it, that the bill has to be paid. Nevertheless, I think there are opportunities moving forward where we could structure one or two programs that could assist those that are on really low income, that could help them get past difficult times during their own work schedules, such as dry winter seasons.
Certainly, drafting ideas, writing up a list of ideas and allowing council an opportunity to explore those within whatever statutory restrictions there might be on local governments. Certainly, I'm not conversant in that level of detail.
And a normal disclaimer too.
Yes, yes, and at the same time, we are nowhere until we start.
That's also, well, except that from their perspective, they're started. Like, people have been paying the bill for a year now.
Mhm.
And so we've got a chicken and the egg problem where the water isn't yet flowing, and yet people have been shouldering the burden for a year's period.
And that has to do with being able to demonstrate to our bonding agency that we have the ability to repay those bonds
Right.
and to provide for future repairs and replacements of said equipment. So part of that is you start accumulating your reserves. Admittedly, had the city started doing that years
Yeah, 70
ago,
years ago, whatever.
the sticker shock might not have been
Yeah.
quite as great as it was.
Okay. And then finally, do we have an idea of when the first budget meeting is going to occur?
Not at this time, other than in March.
March, so we're
Yes,
looking
that
for
is
March.
what we said, if not the last
I
meeting.
lost my
then maybe
notes.
before. Yeah, okay.